Chapter 3 Changes. Dad didn't live with them anymore after that. Mom and Dad explained to Jack separately that they didn't want to be married anymore. Jack told them he understood. He said that other people at school had moms and dads who didn't live together. He could tell that they needed him to be all right about it all, so he pretended he was. But some nights after Mom had kissed him and closed the door, Jack cried into DP's limp body. DP knew and understood everything without being told. He knew about the hard lump in Jack's chest. His trotters wiped away Jack's tears. Jack didn't have to pretend in the dark with DP. Soon after Jack's 6th birthday, Dad took Jack out for a burger, gave him a big box of Legos, and explained that he'd gotten a job abroad. "I can talk to you all the time, though, Jack," said Dad. "You can fly on an airplane to visit me. It'll be fun, won't it?" Jack didn't think it sounded nearly as much fun as having a dad around to play with, but he didn't say that. Jack was getting used to not saying things. Next, Mom told him it might be a good idea if they moved to be closer to Gran and Grandpa, who could take care of Jack when she needed to work late. She had a new job at a big hospital, and Grandpa had found them a lovely house with a garden just 2 streets away from Gran and Grandpa's house. Gran and Grandpa owned a very naughty dog called Toby. Jack found Toby the dog funny. "But will I have to leave school?" asked Jack, thinking of his best friend Freddie. "Yes," said Mom, "but there's a school very near our new house. I know you will love it." "I don't think I will," said Jack. He didn't want to move, and he didn't want a new school. Mom didn't seem to understand. Jack didn't want any more changes. He wanted to stay with his school friends and in the old house, where he and DP had had so many adventures. Gran and Grandpa talked to Jack on the phone. They told him how much they were looking forward to him and Mom coming to live near them, and what fun they'd have playing with Toby the dog in the park. So Jack said it was all right, but he didn't nearly mean it. The only person who seemed to understand was DP. Jack knew DP would miss all their favorite hiding places too. A few weeks later, Mom had told Jack about the new house. Jack said goodbye to his teacher and Freddie. The next day, the removal man came and took away everything that made the old house look like home, and Mom drove Jack and DP 100 miles in their car. Jack had to admit the journey was fun. DP sat on Jack's lap, and Mom and Jack played I Spy and stopped for pizza and ice cream halfway. Mom let Jack buy 2 gobstoppers out of the gumball machine, one for him and one for DP, although, as Jack explained to Mom back in the car, he'd have to eat DP's for him. He hadn't expected to, but Jack liked the new house. His bedroom was next to Mom's, and there was a tall tree outside his window. Gran and Grandpa arrived 5 minutes after they did, with bags of food to fill up the fridge. The first thing Toby the dog did was to try and snatch DP out of Jack's hand. "No, Toby, you know DP's mine," said Jack. He shoved DP down the front of his sweatshirt to keep him safe, but with its head striking out so DP could see what was going on. The removal man lifted all their familiar furniture into the house. Mom and Gran put away all the kitchen things while Jack, Grandpa, Toby the dog, and DP explored the garden. It had lots of interesting hiding places and excellent high perches for DP, but Jack kept him close because he didn't trust Toby the dog not to try and snatch him again. That night, Jack held DP in bed, breathing in his familiar comforting smell, and they silently agreed that moving day hadn't been nearly as bad as Jack had expected. There were no curtains on the Jack's window yet, and DP and Jack watched the leaves fluttering against the darkening sky outside before they fell asleep.